Yep, mortars.
Let's get out of here.
What the fuck? How did I miss that guy? We're about a quarter through the ammo, SL.
Motorcycle.
We're dead. We're dead. We're dead.
Back up, back up. Go, 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 go.
Okay, everyone, RTP, RTP. If you're dead, fucking respawn at main.
I'm gonna stay here.
Okay, Raj, go. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, that was cool.
Hey, the guys that are on foot, make your way to the fob right below you, south of you. And rearm, regroup. Okay, good. And then just wait for us there. We'll pick you guys up.
What about the guys that spawned at main?
That's where we're
Spawn
headed.
at the fob.
Okay.
Their second story of the building.
If you already spawned at the fob, at
Yeah,
the main, we'll still come pick you up. But if you haven't spawned yet, spawn at the fob.
There's 3 of us at main.
Enemy target destroyed. Good work.
We got the one down south, and we gotta get the one up north.
That's where we fill that ammo, right?
You have to head to the resupply station. Yep.
My move marker, go there.
Now you just sit here and wait. full on ammo.
Still repaired. Guys that are at the fob down there, how's it looking? Is there a lot of heavy resistance or?
Not really.
Alright, if you're not already in the bore, you're piling.
Yep.
Right, and you took Kaiserreich as an inspiration, I suppose?
Yes.
Yes. And like, what do you think they do that we could emulate to become better?
Okay, so the big thing that my concern is, especially with MD in comparison to Kaiserreich, is that everybody who's been here a significant amount of time gets a say in Kaiserreich. So, you know, the people who put in quality work, effort, so basically our version of devs, they all get to vote in their major motions, their major gameplay changes, things like that. So the thing that I want to emulate is something similar to that. So, you know, people who have the dev role would be able to, you know, vote on the bigger major things, like say for the upcoming like 1.2 update. We generally have a large, like a vote to see like, hey, what do we as a modding team want to do? Not what that we think the community wants, more or less, just more what we want to do for this one. So like, I say we should vote on doing the man the guns work on the navies for 1.2. And then we all vote, and then if everybody agrees, that's what we put most of our focus in for that update. So the aim for that is to hopefully keep more devs interested in modding, because if they feel like they have more of a say, I feel like they would stay around a lot longer and they would be more motivated to do things, because then they feel more attached to the project.
That seems about to reflect my experience of, like, you know, as long as I made you feel like you had a voice in what we did, like I could always put all my work to have it done by you. So like how do you like, should we just like formalize this process in some sort of like, you know, plebiscite, some sort of voting, like a straw poll or something? Is that like what you had in mind? Like, how does Kaiserreich do it? I have no idea.
They have a bot. They have a bot that they do that does the polls. So like we could use like Pollmaster. There's, I can't think of the other bot that they use. Here, actually, let me just pull it up real quick. So given the fact that it seemed like everybody was worried that I would be coming up with something off the top of my head by myself,
I hear a motorcycle.
I didn't finalize.
The prop with the defense marker.
Yeah. Yeah, so I wanted to, I didn't fully write up a full proposal, but one of the big things that I know, especially since when this was originally proposed, I wasn't the permanent team leader for Focus Tree team. So at least for us, this is kind of the idea that I had for team leaders in and of themselves. Give me a second just to pull it up. I know that one of the big concerns was, oh, that document. Oh, sorry, I'll post that one. Oops. Yeah, let me get that one front, that one that Gears mentioned. If you guys want to read
Find the
that.
weapons cache yet?
No, I will not.
There's another one to the east.
We talk too much Gears. I gotta find it. I forgot we were doing this today, so I'm severely underprepared.
That's fine. Your main opponent in your proposal hasn't showed up, so
Yeah.
you're still more prepared than him.
Keep on going.
But I have his concerns noted
let me
down,
see.
so I should be able to defend his argument.
I got it.
Yeah, just
Okay,
push
so
right. Don't
this
go
is
in
the
fog,
general
just
way
push.
that Kaiserreich
further in.
does their major proposals and their additions. So the bottom one is an entire document per their permission. I was able to share this with you guys. that details exactly how they do the proposal voting and exactly how they write up their major proposals.
I just got shot.
So, in the difference between us, so I don't think we need to do the giant documents like they do. We are not a lore mod, so we don't need to write that portion of it up.
Where do
So, team leaders. Yeah, just so everybody else could go ahead and view it while we were doing this.
What was this supposed to?
proposal voting?
Yeah.
DivX won't be able to see that. So much for including the developers, huh?
It's all
Yeah,
good.
I could put it in dev chat if you want.
Yeah, put it in that chat.
I'm over here. Come towards my boy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I forgot. I didn't notice. I forgot that DivX isn't a
I can't see him. I can't get him up.
team leader. I'm just used to that. He
Okay,
used to be one.
thanks.
Alright, there we go.
I wouldn't let me bandage.
Okay, so like I was saying, the proposal for the League of Eight Provinces isn't entirely what we would have to do in any context, because like I was saying, they're a more lore-heavy mod as Kaiserreich is. So I mean, us is a little bit different. We don't really have a lore to work with unless we're building some weird off-the-path storyline for like UKIP in the UK or something random like that. So that part isn't really the major thing, but this is just to show their proposal voting. So what they do is they have different tiers in their voting system. So the more general, larger ones, everybody gets to vote who is the contributor rank and up. So they have a series of ranks instead of just the 3 major ones that we have. Well, 4 if you want to include Ted's.
Fire team leader.
So you have, so in their context, it would be Kaiser devs are roughly equal to our team leaders, and then our devs are roughly equal to their devs, and then from there, we don't have a middle role between dev and team leader, and then there would be contributors.
In the half. Yeah, they're at half.
Yeah, so the thing with that is a little bit odd, is that there's no in-between there. So so that would be like a step up from the recruits up into a little bit more,
Yeah,
so
no
they would
worries.
also get the vote.
I'll give you 200.
But outside of that,
seconds.
so it's a little bit.
Should probably move to a more private space. Sorry,
Yep.
boss.
Why?
Alright, from here on out, the only people that are going to be in the warrior are the guys manning it. Everyone else is going to follow close behind.
It's all. It's
Sorry,
Here's
buddy.
where the fun begins.
Nah, bro.
good job. Poor guy.
Poor guy, just getting.
Alright, move on the enemy fob marker.
Mild shit show of a meeting, but that's fine.
Nice. This fuck, I can't speak. I can't even struggle.
So, like, do you think that it would have merit for us to, like, focus on the contributor rank a bit more again? Because I want to avoid having more ranks.
I think the ranks as it is fine. I think the people who have dev and up are the ones who should get the
I'm gonna have
votes,
to get killed.
because then the devs are the people who are recognized by their team leader
We need the,
enough to be
need you guys
warranted of
whoever
getting
final
that
votes
extra
come meet up
role.
at the
So
warrior.
they are the ones
We're
who
gonna
should
move
be
up
able to
together.
vote in the upcoming updates. So I think that's especially true with people who like Resmode and then Manchu, people like that who have put in the effort and work, and then it just seems overbearing and unwieldy to add another role. So I just think that it's fine with, because even with just the amount of people that we already have that would be voting in this, if we did, is around 35 or so. I can't remember the actual number off the top of my head. And that's still plenty of people, because those are usually our most active members of the team anyways. So I think just that as it is fine.
They're behind the warrior.
Just devs, team leaders, and then, obviously the moderators who do the work and stuff like that, and then yourself as well, Ted.
Right?
I'm looking, I don't see anyone.
I see him, end of the road,
No, I have no problem.
272, end of the road, behind the pylons. Here, he's down, he's dead.
So a concern that Howard had were
Okay, go pick up those guys.
overlapping responsibilities, because what Kaiserreich doesn't have is like a rigid team structure, I think. where,
Someone go
like,
bandage up the medic,
every
and
team
then
has an area
we'll
of
heal
expertise
him.
like we do,
I'm
right?
glitched.
Everybody
Kill
just
me.
kind of does everything for my like, well, they have the graphic guys who only do graphics, but they aren't like specifically assigned a graphics role, I suppose.
Yeah, they are.
Kill,
Oh, they
kill
are?
who?
Okay, never mind then.
Kill me.
But
I'm
like they still
glitched.
get to vote on like what the other
But I don't know where you are.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay, so I did address this in a part when I was discussing this a bit more with Gears,
There
is
he is.
that the team leaders will still remain over their overall control over their teams. There's not going to be like a whole, just because I'm a graphics guy, I should dictate something that happens in politics team. That's not at all what I wanted to happen with this. I don't think that that's fair, because I don't want a graphics guy telling me how to make a focus tree. Unless they actually know how to make a focus tree. You see what I'm saying? Because that's...
But like what you said earlier, is like we could have a vote on having to focus on like a man the guns thing, which we should do. But
Right.
like, if for example I were to do that,
Don't fire your gun at her.
Oh shit, alright.
Okay, we're gonna fire.
Thanks.
Yeah, they took us that long.
Would it be like more effective to introduce like votes on like
Repeat 069.
or should it like
They probably have a fucking.
because
They probably have a
the
fob in
problem
the
I would
fucking
see
warehouse.
with this is that it would like put special focus on certain teams to like get a lot of work done and not so much on other teams. Wouldn't we have to maybe reform the structure altogether then and just like bully people into working on separate tasks at separate times?
We're going back to
I'm sorry, I don't quite follow by that last bit.
Okay.
Alright, everyone regroup at the
I'll
fob.
try to rephrase. Like, if we both added to, let's say,
I want to see where the next objective's gonna be.
would we then like redistribute people from other teams to get this done faster, or will we at the same time, through votes, establish other things for the other teams to do?
Well, that was kind of the idea, is that the entire big major regions would all get decided all together. Like, so the one thing that I want to do with Focus Tree Team alongside this is that I want everybody in the team to be able to kind of like, I don't want to do it anymore where just everybody gets like, just a random tree and then they get to just kind of do it, because it doesn't seem to work out so well. Everybody gets to pick out of a certain, I want to do a regional stuff a little bit better. So that way, the content isn't just sacrificed and spread out over one area. We can focus on particular regions similar to how Paradox does it. So, how they did, the China update. So, like, for this upcoming one, I want to do a Middle Eastern update. Or then from there, maybe we do a naval update.
Can you see,
that
Gunnar?
kind of deal. So it would be
I don't
more
see any
anything
enemies
that
now.
would pair together would also go with it. So, when we do 1.2, I know Howard will like this one. When we do 1.2 with Man the Guns, I want to do a new United Kingdom tree to pair with the
Man, look guys.
to pair with the naval content. You see what I'm saying?
Would be more about like,
Can I get FPL? I have eyes on an enemy now.
like
Yes.
Oh, you don't have FPL.
doing a macro manage, like deciding on the team and then going into the teams and then.
Whoa, is that a mine?
Exactly. Because the thing that if we did it how Kaiserreich did it wouldn't work, because like I said, they're a totally different structure. So what I wanted to do here is that because like the thing is at the moment none of our teams work together, and I'm going to say that honestly.
No. They
Focus tree, politics, and graphics do, mostly because we all need the three of us. But think about it this way: conflicts doesn't help us. Tech Dream does their own thing.
Yes.
So
But those teams are related to us.
that's not true though. Like Focus Tree is related to everybody in the mod. So the thing is, especially with Man the Guns, in that whole thing that we all want to do for 1.2,
But
is that everybody needs to work together on that.
The thing is that at this stage of the mod where we are, is we've only just finished the merge, we've only just been doing version 1.1 stuff. The key thing right now was setting the foundation that Tech Tree barely existed properly. It was being created. Politics had to be created with this new system in mind and put into the mod from nothing, essentially. Focus Tree had to
Okay, copy.
redesign
Let's go
themselves,
over there and split the
and
infantry.
design a load of trees. We've just been setting the foundation. So yeah, of course we can focus on certain areas.
He's northwest now.
To the others and sort of plan out the foundation. It's not like we have to ignore it. It's just that there was
can
still
do.
creating the foundation of it all to build from. So it's not like we're loosely not working together. We are working together. But right now we're working on priorities. Like there isn't even an industry tree at the moment. We're creating stuff from the ground up right now. So at the moment we've just always been setting the foundation of this house.
Yeah, but we are now assuming that it will come into effect once we move past the foundation step. And we are closing in and moving past the foundation.
Yeah, once the foundation's set, I
don't see anyone.
totally agree with the set.
It seems like
system just being created.
That's alright, later, buddy.
Politics is barely up and down. Don't forget, in the last few weeks of the release, we were just throwing the starting leader in. That is just a hollow. Countries are hollow. It's just an illusion. It looks like there's politics there, but there actually isn't. It's just hollow with starting leaders. Focus Street team. I'm not entirely sure on everything to do with Focus Street team, but I know that they're just getting the ball rolling there as well. Russia and China don't even have a tree yet, or if they do, they're in work in progress. So right now we're still in this foundational stage. Clearly,
no, like we are providing content. Like
Mhm.
with it, like Focus Street team, you just said Russia and China don't have focus trees, but that like for Focus Street team that never changes. Like for Focus Street team, you move from country to country as they don't have content, and then you create content. And for politics team, like okay, you didn't have a few starting leaders, but like you want to like implement like how does like Mali at launch differ from Mali like before we do an African update, right? You know, you said that the countries feel hollow, but doing regional content updates would involve
I'm
politics.
with you. I'm with you.
Yeah,
Don't
okay.
get me wrong.
Never mind then.
I'm not against this at all. I like the idea of regional focusing. So I'm with you there.
Okay.
I'm just saying today, not right today. After version 1.1, definitely.
That's when this would have been implemented, anyways.
That's fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
What else do we have here?
We should make a roadmap of which regions we want to focus on for each update.
I can't tell who's speaking there. Who was that?
Fuck yeah.
Booze.
DivX.
Do you think?
Oh, sorry. I was going to say. What's Booze in this list?
Sorry, I'm still a bit hungover.
That's fine. I'm knackered as well. It's my sister's birthday yesterday, and I'm hungover too.
Yeah.
How'd it go, by the way? Sorry, I forgot to ask.
Who? Me?
Yeah.
She broke her thumb. She closed the door and broke her thumb.
What a birthday gift.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't believe it. I found it hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing.
It's not a party until someone gets hurt.
Yeah, I know.
Get well soon.
Yeah. We just called her an idiot. Just went to hospital. And probably carried on without her. It's fine. But yeah.
Right, what was I saying? Right, roadmap. So we should focus on which are the most important regions and then ranking. And then 1.2 will be the most important, 1.3 would be the second most, yada, yada, yada.
No, Dylan.
No.
We should not focus on what's the most important. We should focus on what the team agrees on focusing on.
Right, sorry.
Yeah,
That's
I can live with that.
There you go. Okay, fantastic. But like I have no disagreement with like maybe doing Middle East first, but you know we should put it through a proper vote, and then probably everybody will vote for Middle East anyway.
Middle East. Stalin, I think, would have he would love it. He's masters in Middle East, so yeah.
See, that was the whole idea, is what I wanted to do with this whole voting system. I know you kind of missed the whole intro part of this, Howard. But I'll kind of give like a mini recap. It's just I just wanted more of like the developers and stuff like that to feel a little bit more involved in the mods. That way we can have a little bit more motivation if they had to vote. So that's a big problem that I think that we have with our dev team, is that we rely on probably less than 15 people to do like 99% of the work, which is my big problem.
And my suggestion for like doing these regional updates then would be to perhaps with each update provide a list of the countries, classifying them as major and minor, right? So for the Middle East, you would have Turkey, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Israel, and maybe Egypt. Egypt is technically North Africa, but like it's also an Arab country, right?
Yeah.
So
Palestine.
you would have no, Palestine wouldn't be a major. So I would think we can have a vote on that, of course.
Yeah, well, that'll be a debatable point there.
So like
I feel like Israel and Palestine go hand in hand, though,
Yeah.
in terms of development.
well, no, I would think that having a list of majors would be useful because that is the countries we would assume most players to play. And then
I think I like your idea, the list of majors and minors, but the majors should be the absolute core content that has to go out. It has to be done
Exactly.
before we release it. And minors, it depends on what stage we are. If we get 50% of them done, great. If we get 100% of them,
Howard, let me finish. So what I was gonna suggest is focus tree team does a unique focus tree for each of the majors, and then a joint regional tree for the minors. And politics team focuses in its adding leaders and political parties and decisions and events on the majors,
influence.
and influence, of course, and then does like a generic palette of events and decisions for the minors again. That way, playing Palestine and Jordan and Yemen might feel a bit the same, but at this point we have to deal.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's a bit crass, but like at this point we have to deal with the fact that we have limited resources and most people are not going to play Palestine or Jordan or Yemen, but many people are going to play Iran, Saudi Arabia, Israel, Turkey, and Egypt, right?
Mhm.
So that might be a structure to do regional updates. I always wanted to do regional updates, but I never had the manpower to do it. Now we do. That's fantastic. What else was on the agenda here? Do you think that like there could be a reduction of efficiency that results from like having too lengthy voting processes? Like, is there something in Kaiserreich that like people like slow down the work because they spend too much time thinking about what is to be done?
No.
No.
They have a 1 to 2 day of discussion of the vote, and then they have a 24-hour window to do the vote, and then it's done. Whatever happens
is the criteria. What is it that requires votes on?
So it's gonna be it's not gonna totally fit in how their criteria of it stuff. It's usually
not for Kaiserreich, for what you intend for us to do.
Oh, okay. So just major general, like what we're pushing for in the next update.
Yeah.
So as Ted was talking about for regional thing, that was basically my entire idea with this. So for 1.2, we hold the vote like say we decide instead of the Middle Eastern, we decide we want to do the man the guns work. So then from there, I will pick countries that I think would be major for the focus tree team that would work well with, that would pair very, very nicely with that tech update. So, like I said, UK, the United States, any major naval country would then kind of get some content to apply to it and then build on it.
And of course also overwork the generic focus tree to include the new naval stuff as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah, there we go.
Listen, as long as they're major decisions based on regional
we're not gonna
updates,
micromanage your team for you, Howard. Don't
I'm
worry.
just saying that's the only efficiency issue that I don't have. I've no issue with big votes on what we focus on. It wouldn't impact efficiency of my team or any team really.
Mm-hmm. I know that was like one of your big concerns when this first got brought up. I think it would really be very stupid to vote on the Neapolitan leaders or some stupid shit like that. That'd be really dumb. That's your decision and your job as a team leader. I'm not going to try and vote on that. That would be dumb.
Yeah.
So that I know that's one of the big things, and because the whole point of our team structure is for that team leader to make sure everything is being quality and getting done in that region.
Why don't we just vote on what gets classed as a major in a region and what doesn't get classed as a major, and then that's it. We focus on that for the next update. That's one big vote. Everybody got a say in it. Everybody gets a fair shout.
As I said, like the minors together should also be one major, right? Like if we do a Middle East update, I would want a Middle Eastern regional focus tree for stuff like Jordan or like Yemen that like specifically references like Islamic sectarian conflicts or whatever they have down there, right?
Yeah.
So of course we're not gonna fucking do a vote on every like microscopic task. What else is here? I've had like a theoretical objection might be that like one team like has a lot of developers and then kind of starts taking over the mod through the votes. That's not really gonna happen, right?
Yeah, well, I wanted to discuss this because I know, looking at the list, Amtajay, you have 6 devs. I have 2, not including myself, and others have varying amounts, and I have no idea how much it is. Now, I set a hard limit all the time at 4, no more, no less. Birdie knows this.
You just said you had 2.
So, yeah, I know. I need to promote 2.
Yeah, okay.
I need to promote 2, so I'd never go above 4. Now, I don't want, say, one team having a larger say than another team based on the number of developers that they currently.
Right.
So, I mean, I've got 4, and I never go above 4. Others have less than me, so I don't want Eco, who has 1 dev, not to have their say, and their say counted. Even though they're major coders, they're the major coding aspect of this mod, and we're going to rely on them heavily. Yet they would have less of a say in this voting system because they have fewer devs than all of us. I mean, there'll be 5 in total of my team, and they would only have 1 voice because it'll just be Razmod with just 1 vote and maybe somebody else.
Yeah, but like beforehand, we would actually spend time talking about it, and Resmod could like convince everybody else to like, vote on his side. Like I find it a bit problematic to like rephrase our team structure as like working against each other. Like I would have preferred to like dub our teams at the very beginning maybe task forces, because we are one big team, right? We're all teammates even though we are like focusing on different things. So I don't think that like we should work against each other. Having 4 devs as like a precise limit is something you can do, but I think you should just make people dev who are very reliable, who have a strong vision, who are amicable within the team structure. And like if that's 8 people, that's fine, and if that's 1 person, that's fine. I think that's how Kaiserreich does it, right? They probably don't have like a hyper balance between like different team members of different expertises, right? So they just
They have a hard limit on the top 2 roles, which is the Kaiser devs and the devs. They have 11 at all times.
Okay.
Between Kaiser devs and regular devs.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why they limit it?
Because they're usually in charge of either regional reworks or major functions in the mod. So, like, there's one guy who leads all the graphics guys, so he's the graphics dev. Kaiser dev, I think.
But like if a new segment opened up, then they would have a 12th.
Yeah.
Okay, so it isn't like a magic about the number 11 or something. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's basically like their version of our team leaders, I suppose. So if we opened another team, we also would have another team leader. But like, I would think that what's the English word? Limiting or like specifying the number of ceiling. Okay, ceiling the number of devs that each team should have would be a bit counterproductive. And like, you just said I need to promote 2. So now what you might have to do is promote 2 people who are not as deserving of the role, and like maybe you wouldn't have promoted them otherwise because now you are under pressure to reach.
Typically, it was always just if I find someone available, fantastic. If I was at 4 and I found someone competent to be a dev, they'll be first on the list should one resign.
Yeah, but like you could also make it 5.
But I have gone through many devs. I think I'm on my 12th dev now. I think Pengu was my 12th. So I've gone through quite a lot. So there's high turnover.
Unless Birdie coos the mod with like thousands of focus tree devs and forces us all to work on focus trees, I think it's not gonna like happen as that. So reduction of morale through public disagreements is another one I tinkered up. Do you think that like if we spend our time fighting each other, that like the morale could suffer from that? Is that something that happens in Kaiserreich?
No.
Probably not, right? No. Okay.
If we're doing this regional update thing, we're going to need to sort out a bot to do this.
I recommended Pollmaster. That's in your server.
That's exactly what I was going to say as well. Pollmaster is the best one, Ted. You can
We can get Pole Master. That's fine by me.
We're gonna need Pole Master.
All right. I'm all done. Anything else?
Yeah. While we're here, and since
Oh
we've
God.
got everyone,
Here we go.
no, it's a good one. It's a good one. Everybody, all the team leaders are pretty much aware of it anyway. It's about that specialist role, Ted.
Ah, yeah, of course, yeah.
Do you want to discuss that?
Sure. Okay, so Howard had the idea of having like I think it was like an alternative to the developer role, right? Like a senior developer role.
It's higher. It's like equivalent to team leader rank.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like it's a developer that like can focus on multiple, like that has the ability to do multiple tasks, not just one team, right?
Without consulting a team leader, someone that can bounce around anywhere and move anywhere. You know, where systems demand help or some kind of attention. Like right now, the president of the United States can run for 3 terms consecutively, and I can't stop it. So yeah, Devex, I would need your help on that one. And hence, you know, you could bounce anywhere between eco, anywhere. The main reason for this idea that came about was because Razmod took team leader of eco team. So the day that Rabbit returns, we don't want him to lose his position, and so we created a new one. The other team leaders and I, we've discussed it and bounced it around, and we all agree that Hidden, Devex, and Rabbit should be given this specialist role immediately. And that's what we just I wanted to discuss.
I mean, I could get it too now that I'm not team lead anymore.
Yeah, there you go. Ted can get it as well.
So should it be like, I always want to avoid you know, having too many roles on the sidebar because it looks like there's like it's too strict of a hierarchy. Like, should it be just like team leader is right now, where you can click on it?
Yeah, team leader isn't on the sidebar, so specialist isn't, but they're the same development rank. I mean, I have a whole team with me. Specialist doesn't, but the difference is that specialists don't answer to me for politics. Yeah, they can still work on politics. I discuss it with them. They bounce around to wherever they want. Ultimately, I do run politics and I'm in charge of it, but they can come in, fix something for me, and then bounce over to eco and fix something there. Go over to focus tree and fix something there. They bounce around. I mean, they're the best coders out. They're the best of the best of the best. The Royal Marines of this mod.
So would this essentially have been me pre-team leader? Like, you know how I would do focus tree stuff and then do like the more stuff like that, like for you, Howard?
No, your role is crack addict, not specialist. But that's fine. Yeah. Any objections? I would introduce a specialist.
Who's this guy?
It's Scarecrow. I pulled him down.
Why? Oh, okay.
He just figured he wanted to hang out.
He felt lonely. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Like, it's gonna require a lot of communication from the specialists, I think, because like, I'm now moving into this métier. Okay, I'm no longer helping here, right? So that like.
It should be pretty clear. I mean, specialists should check in with the team leader. If Devex comes around and starts working on politics for the thing, just let me know. Don't have to ask permission. Just let me know, just so I'm aware of what's going on, and I can tick it off when it's done off my list of things that need to be fixed.
Let's do it.
That's all it is. Just
Matthias
needs to run through team leaders. Really, that's it.
Yes. Hi. Hello. Hi. My name is
Make yourself useful and create a specialist role. Okay.
And then we also need to discuss testing.